Hi there, the name's Nico, and today I'm going to show you how to beat Stage 3 of the newest Pure Fiction, Lexical Enigma. So this Pure Fiction increases dot damage taken by enemy targets by 50%. Enemy targets that receive dot have their damage dealt reduced by 35%. After they are attacked, their action is advanced forward by 35%. And there are three different buffs as normal in this Pure Fiction. So the first buff is Rebuttal. When enemy targets are defeated, the dots on them have a 100% base chance to be transferred to all enemies. An argument, after enemy targets enter battle, they become afflicted by wind shear. At the start of the next turn, they receive a set amount of wind dot and inflict a wind shear on themselves and adjacent enemy targets. And the last buff option is verification, which is when three or more characters following the path of nihility are in the team. Increases all allies damage dealt by 60% and speed by 30%. So okay, in my opinion, the verification is the strongest buff option in this current Pure Fiction, which is why for Stage 3, because of how the weaknesses work, I actually am using it on both sides. This is what I used, and I managed to get a perfect score of 80k. Again, you don't need a perfect score, you only need 60,000 points to get all the rewards. This is just to showcase that you can go above and beyond with these team comps. So, in the first half, you can see I used Acheron, Kafka, Pela, Ruan Mai. Pela's here because she's Nihility. That's really the only reason why she's here. I think she's fine in Pure Fiction because she has an AoE ultimate that procs pretty frequently. But the thing with Pela is because enemies die so often, the defense reduction she applies only really happens. It doesn't happen that frequently. More so for it happens with the bosses out. Obviously, once you ult the boss ones, it's pretty much gonna stay on him. But all the other ads doesn't matter. And Acheron, Kafka are just kind of a staple for lightning and nihility dot character teams. Again, Acheron's not really a traditional dot character. Really, she's mainly just does ultimate damage. And then Ruan Mai is here because it's ice weakness for the side, and Ruan Mai is a pseudo sustain, as you can, because she makes enemies break twice, it allows your team to live longer and do more damage. And especially with dots, it'll apply the dots both times, or twice, because they'll break the first time, get the dot damage taken, not actually restart their turn, and then they'll break again, and then the second time they'll break again, and then they'll get the dots on them, and then yeah, so you basically get the dots twice. Second half, I use Black Swan Guinafen as my main damage because the enemies are weak to wind and fire, and then I have Asta here as a buffer for the team's damage, mainly for Guinafen and Black Swan, but also Asta does fire damage, which helps break the enemies faster. Silver Wolf's only here, the same with Pela, is to be the third Nihility character. So, and she also does puts debuffs on people, but again, it's single target debuffs. It's worse than Pela. She doesn't have an AoE ultimate. So you mainly want to use Silver Wolf on the bigger mobs. And I'll show the opponents. So it's mainly the Automaton Dire Wolf is the main mob. And there's Memory Zone, Meme, Heartbreaker, and of course a few others. So all of them are weak to lightning. That's the main weakness. Most of the mobs are weak to ice as well, just with the exception of the Void Ranger, and some are weak to imaginary. Some are one guy's weak to fire, and one guy is weak to physical. So you mainly, as it says, you pretty much want lightning for sure, but if you don't have lightning, you could just do ice. I'll explain other alternate comps after I go over this. And for the second side, the enemies are all weak to wind. Most are weak to fire, except for the dog and the Wraith Warden, and a decent number of them are also weak to ice as well. Some weak to imaginary, and the dog is weak to physical and lightning. The Wraith's also weak to physical as well. So in terms of alternative team comps, for the sign is going to be again, Jing Yuan or Jing Liu comp, and you can I put Ruan Mai on the side, no matter which character you use. I do hypercarry. I probably use Tingyun if you're gonna use Jing Yuan to help with breaking a bit faster and allow Jing Yuan to get his ult more. Ruan Mai. And the only buff if you're gonna use Jing Yuan is most likely just gonna be argument, as you're not gonna really have dots on them. I mean, you'll apply a little bit of shock just because you're using a lightning character, but it's not like their main source of damage. Alternative side, if you don't have Black Swan, because that's the only 5-star on the second half I'm using for this. Well, I'm using Silver Wolf, but Silver Wolf's again just there for nihility options. If you have Sampo built, I'd actually use Sampo instead of Silver Wolf here. Because I've used Black Swan for so many things, I've not decided to build Sampo. Sorry, I'm kind of behind. You see, he's like right here. He's level 60. So yeah, you see, he's not built at all. But if you haven't built, you could do Black Swan, Guinafen, Sampo. That's what I would use. Guinafen is just really good on the side because she's Nihility and Fighter, and a dot character as well. Alternatives for this would be, you could probably do Mono Fire with Himiko, Topaz, Asta, Gallagher, or you could do just a Himiko hypercarry, or you can do a Blade hypercarry, and just use Asta. I would probably stick Asta on the side no matter what. Asta is a free-to-play character, so everyone will have her. Just if you haven't built her, I highly recommend you build her if you have not done so already. I'll show you what some of my friends have done. They got 3 stars. So you can see first half here was, yeah, Acheron Kafka dual DPS with a 3rd Nihility option. And then second half they did, actually they used the argument buff with just Black Swan Guinafen. Very good option if you don't have a 3rd. If you don't have, yeah, a 3rd Nihility character that's built here. That's honestly refined too. Here, another friend I have used a Jing Yuan Herda dual hypercarry comp, and then second half was a Himiko. Actually, Himiko hypercarry. I mean, Veteran does a lot of damage himself. You can see. And then another friend here is Kafka Sampo dual DPS setup with. This is the newest MC, the imaginary MC with Luocha as healer. The second half was a Himiko Hura dual DPS setup with Ruan Mai Veteran. And see, I have a bunch of options for the side. This is honestly I'm pretty flexible for team comps. You can see Node 2 was Kafka, Black Swan, and Guinafen with the verification buff. The side is just Acheron hypercarry because Pela and Silver Wolf are not doing any damage really on the side. And then this friend of mine is doing actually just a Clara Herda dual DPS comp. Clara is, there's only like I think what, 1 enemy week 2, physical maybe 2, so it's mainly Herda for the damage, but Clara does so much damage anyways that it's fine. And then this side is Kafka, Black Swan, Guinafen, very standard with the verification. So yeah, if you can do verification, I highly recommend you doing verification. If you don't have that option, which if you're new to the game, you won't, because Kafka's rerun hasn't been for a while, and Black Swan has not had a rerun yet. She was out in 2.0, so if you join during 2.0, you might actually have her then. But yeah, there's you can see there's a lot of different team comp options. Maybe this will inspire you if you're struggling. I mean, this person was technically only 2-star, but maybe. But overall, there's a bunch of different ones here. So yeah, I'll show you how I got a perfect 80k score, and I'll show you how I did it. Maybe this will inspire you for your teams, or just use the teams I've used, or some of the teams that I've had in my friends list. But yeah, I will show you what my character's stats are now. Acheron's very well built, 60, 170, with a no lightning orb. I think I put her finally on an attack orb, which is the ideal. Yeah, her personal light cone, max traces except for basic attack, which doesn't matter. Technically not even as optimal relic set because she should be 4-piece. Pioneer, I just don't have good Pioneer. I specifically don't have a good Pioneer chest piece. This chest piece is just too good with 3 rolls attack percent, 1 roll crit damage. That's why I've kept it. And no Eidolons. Kafka, okay built. It could be a lot better because she's not even at 134 speed. This is probably like an average Kafka build. I have Good Night Sleep Well, best 4-star light cone option at S5. Max traces, except for basic attack, which doesn't matter on her. Then I'm using the old meta for Kafka, which is 4-piece Sizzling Thunder, 2-piece Space Ceiling. She should be on the same set that Black Swan is, which is 4-piece Prisoner of Deep Water, or Deep Confinement, sorry, and then Glamoth, but I don't have a second set available. No Eidolons. Pela. Again, honestly, you don't really need any stats on Pela. You just need her to be at least over 134 speed. Kind of want her to be a bit tanky, because ideally, even actually, you put her on an ear rope. I don't know why I don't have her on ear rope. The main thing that you want about her is you want this light cone. Ideally, at least S3, if not, S5 is obviously the best one because you get a 100% base chance to inflict defense shred, but minimum S3. Otherwise, if you were here during the like 1.2 event, I believe it was, you want to use this light cone before the tutorial mission starts instead, and then you're gonna have to put Silver Wolf on a different light cone if you're running the same team comps that I do. As you see, I technically actually have two S5 copies of pearls. I've just gotten that many. You could technically just use this one on Ramada on Silver Wolf if you're gonna use the before tutorial mission starts on Pela, because Silver Wolf's break's actually good, but you don't really care about break in this particular pure fiction. Other options. Honestly, this is actually a good option too. If the self-amusement, I believe this is a pure fiction light cone you can buy. Use that on Pela if you have her effect. Oh no, I'd use it on Silver Wolf and then use the event light cone on Pela instead. This is just the better option if you have it at least S3. You can see she's not even really any traces. She's just level 8s across the board. And as you can see, not very good ropes. I guess I haven't used her in a while, so that's why she doesn't have an ER rope, but you should be using an ER rope on her. I'll show you broken keel. You don't even really want broken keel on her, because broken keel increases crit damage. I was using Pela for a different team. What I want to do for this one is actually use Fleet of Ageless. And I'll just take Robins, that's fine. Because we're not using Robin this side. There we go. So yeah, just use Robins, or use Fleet of Ageless ER rope instead. Increase attack, because top characters really don't care about anything other than attack. You can see I just have 4-piece guard on her as well, just the reduced damage, and she is E6 as well. Ruan Mai. Just want me to have her at least 160 break effect. She's at 159 for mine, so it's close enough. I mean, ideally I should get the 0.7 more, so I'm missing 1 roll, but it's fine. Using the best 4-stone light cone for her, Memories of the Past, max everything, and 2-piece break effect set, 2-piece messenger. It can be this break effect set or the other one, doesn't matter. And then again, I use Fleet of Ageless because I put Ruan Mai on dot teams pretty much exclusively, so they don't care about anything but attack. And there's no Eidolons for you. Black Swan is built okay. I need to, technically she could be built again a lot better. Ideally you want your Kafka Black Swan to be over 160 speed and close to 4k attack. That'd be like a very well built one. She's at 127 break or effect hit rate, which is a tad bit too high. It's because I'm using an effect hit rate chest piece. I haven't gotten any good enough rolls otherwise. I have her personal light cone. Traces, only 8s. Ideally she'll be 10s. I'm working on doctor ratios first, and then I'll go work on Black Swans to get 10. 4-piece Prisoner, ideal, and 2-piece Glamoth. is the, again, these are the ideal ones you want. No Eidolons for Black Swan. Guinafen, again, she's not even technically the best built either. She's not even 134 speed, which is where you kind of want. I only have a speed boots on her, so yeah, she's she could definitely be a lot better. And I have Eyes of Prey on her, and just level 8s across the board. And I'm using 2-piece fire set, 2-piece attack set with space ceiling as her. If you have a faster, I would use Mouth on her. Again, I'd also do the same, do 4-piece prisoner if you have her built a bit better, or you have the pieces, which I don't. I think Guinafen's S or E4. Silver Wolf is okay built. You can see these are the sets I have on her. I'm using the before the tutorial mission starts. Level 8s across the board, and 4-piece quantum, 2-piece Penacony, which I have Penacony because of mono quantum team. This actually doesn't really matter for this particular team comp, but I can, it's fine. If you're gonna use, I use Von Whack instead. If you're just gonna use Penacony and not even use the boss from Penacony, or I'd use Fleet of the Ageless here. And you can see she's no Eidolons. Asta's pretty decently built. You can see she's 153 speed and 133 ER on her.
What should I observe today?
I'm using okay, yes, I've gotten a lot of copies of this from Standard Banner. I'm using the Bronya's Personal Light Cone at S3. I've never bought this in the store, by the way. I just got 3 copies from Standard Banner. That's just how my luck ended up being. Only 8s across the board. It says 10s because obviously I have E6 at this point in time. And I'm using 4-piece Messenger, 2-piece Broken Keel. Broken Keel's not really good for this team because it's a dot team. But I've been using Asta with non-dot teams, so once again, the crit damage technically doesn't even matter. And E6 is kind of the most important breakpoint for her, and E4 is also very good. These are the 2 important ones to get. And yeah, that's this team's for now. I said some of the pieces are even less optimal. Ideally for this team, you'd also use a Fleet of the Ageless 2-piece. You can finish it probably even faster. I'm just kind of too lazy to switch off the pieces like I already did with Pela, just to show you. But I would take them off. And I'll just do it for the sake of doing it here. Let's take it off Gallagher, because I'm not even using Gallagher right now. There you go. Hopefully I remember to switch them back. That's the reason why I don't generally switch pieces. But yeah, you'd use that 2-piece fleet to buff dot damage as well. That's what you want. And then you would probably be want on Von Whack. Yeah, anyways, that's my team comps I'm going to use, what they have on them, and I'll show you how I clear and get 8k.
Storms on the horizon.
Move myself over. Hopefully it's fine. Okay, so again with this, you're just gonna do Acheron's attack first, or technique.
Eternal.
Just turn off auto battle.
Still have the upper hand?
Pretty much you're just gonna basic attack with Pela, basic attack with Ruan Mai, skill of Kafka, skill of Acheron. If you need a skill point, then just use basic attack with Kafka. Always use Acheron's skill. That's pretty much the gameplay loop that we'll be doing.
I suppose. Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Oh,
I weep for the departed.
okay. Actually, let's see if I'm covering it up.
May as well kill them all.
Okay. Hopefully that's fine right there. Okay, and then hit alt.
Good
Kafka
time.
ult.
Time to say
They're very
bye.
much just using ult off cooldown on this team. This team is very simple to play. Again, basic attack, Pela, Ruan Mai, a skill, Acheron, Kafka, ult whenever it's up. That's it. That's the gameplay
Still
loop.
waters of oblivion.
If you really need a healer, then you could just replace Ruan Mai with a healer. If you don't, or if you don't have Ruan Mai.
I weep for the departed. It too shall fall.
Say bye to breathing.
That's half the work. Destined for oblivion.
Enemy data signet markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack. We have the upper hand. Ready for another?
Stand still. Good times. Time to say bye. Boom.
Yeah, and here we are.
Some value, I suppose. Eternal.
And Acheron's are ult up, so we're just gonna ult. You should all die.
It too shall fall.
Yeah, Acheron does about 500,000
Another
damage.
journey begins. On the still waters of oblivion.
Enemy data signet
Ult
markers
with
activated. Time for a
Pela.
good old counterattack.
Yeah, with the verification buff, Acheron does so much damage.
Relax.
Grace and elegance.
May as well kill them all. Good times. Time to say bye.
I mean, even Kafka does so much damage too. She's not doing as much damage as you'd expect because there's no dots on the enemies, and Kafka is a dot popper. I'd call it.
I weep for the
She's just
departed.
here for more just like breaking, but she does a decent amount of damage too, don't get me wrong.
Every petal, all will be swept away by the wind.
Again.
And we'll
Ready
just
for
hit
another?
you.
Stand still.
Enemy data signet markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
If you are gonna use Acheron, by the way, and you don't plan using dot characters with her, then just make sure you use
Grace and elegance.
members that apply debuffs like Pela with pearls. Even just her ultimate, if you get her ultimate up enough, I mean, you won't get as many buffs. It'd be like every other turn you get debuff applied. But you just need debuffs for Acheron.
Free will, or was it fate? On the still waters of oblivion.
Relax.
And then
Time
we'll
to
ult
say
with
bye.
Acheron at the end here. No, there's just one guy left. Okay, well, this guy's 100% dead. Yeah, I mean, he took 200,000 damage. So, yeah. Easy 40k clear. Normally, Black Swan isn't the best by herself. But if you have Guinafen here to help for dots, so it's really not that bad. In terms of who you want to apply for this, I actually like using Guinafen.
Make a wish.
Her Fire Kiss one is actually not bad to throw for this team comp because both Asta, Silver Wolf, and Guinafen all do like a technique that does damage and start a fight.
Everyone's a customer.
And yeah, for this team comp, basically you want to make sure Asta has her charge stacks. You can see at the bottom there's like 5 dots by her profile picture. You always want to have that 5 up ideally. She gets that by attacking multiple enemies. If they have fire weakness, she gets 2 stacks. If they don't have fire weakness, then you only get 1 stack. But if you hit 5 enemies with her skill, then she'll get 5 charges. So yeah, that's what you pretty much want to do. This is the fire kiss that we use the technique.
Manners, huh?
So yeah, because we're starting this, I'm gonna actually hit this. We have a lot of ER on Asta. But yeah, if you don't have Brony's light cone, you can just use the past, present, future light cone. You can just use, oh, what's it called? I didn't actually say alternative for that. It's that's the dance one.
Or remain in the dark.
Ill fate
I don't know why. I can't remember what it is. Dance Dance. Oh yeah, Dance Dance Dance. You can use. That's really good as well. Okay, they're all dead.
Memories beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
Don't throw the game.
So we have max stacks on Asta, so Asta can just basic attack here.
Everything is worth stars.
And this team was also simple, just pop ult when it's up, unless obviously there's only one enemy left on the field. Then it's hold your ult. There we go, we got some skill points back from the pinballs machines, or the gumball machines.
This combat needs
Right, it's
optimizing.
this ult's not even that great. We'll use it on the
This is
Trotter.
double speed.
I'll just use, since we have skill points, we'll just use them.
What do you want to know?
Oh shoot. I need to get this Trotter. Okay, good.
Can I have fun this time?
Just basic attack with Black Swan, or with, we could have actually skilled instead, because all the gumball machines died and they all give skill points.
Who invited you? Who will it be?
We'll ult with Asta.
This is where those stars give these trailblazers your blessing.
Technically, I could have probably saved the ult a little bit, but it's fine.
Beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
Forget your walk.
Then ult.
Happy New Year!
And basic attack. Who's gonna mark my
What
Black
do you want to know?
Swan?
Ill tidings manifest.
Fortunately, we didn't kill there, but it's okay. They do 35% less damage because of the current, like, effect of the pure friction, so it doesn't actually nuke you. We get hit by the apes.
Retribution will find you.
What a dream.
Also, that's why it's even less so that you need a healer for this particular one, because you need a healer for pure friction stage 4 side 1, because there's a enemy that applies debuffs on you, or like dots on you, and you'll just die. But for this one, it doesn't really matter. Again, you'll probably take like 400 damage here. Okay, a little bit more. That was like 600, but
Ill fate descends.
it's still
Memories
fine.
of beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
Oh, he's so close to just dying.
You took the bait.
I'll do you, and then... Oh, I meant to spam your ult before you did this attack, but
This
whatever.
combat needs up. This is double speed.
Again, Silver Wolf is really just here for... to be the third Nihility unit. She's not really that good in pure fiction at all.
Happy New Year!
Okay, let's see how much damage you do. Okay, like 800 damage. Why are you all attacking? Yeah, I'm actually much prefer just use your skill, and then we'll just...
Everything is worth
Or
stars.
basic
Give these
attack, no.
trailblazers your blessing.
There we
Forget your
go.
wallet?
Can we break them? We
Ill
can.
tidings manifest.
Okay, good, good, good.
More enemies.
This guy should die, so I'm just gonna... There you go. And we still had one turn to spare on both sides, actually, for this clear. So, if you I think this like just shows that these team comps work really well. You could also say it worked well just because I also have Black Swan and Acheron's Lyco, which are the main 2 DPSs I'm using for this particular pure fiction, which is, I would agree with you that they definitely help, obviously. At this point in time, Acheron does have a light cone option, but I think it's gotcha only, like a 4-star light cone option, sorry. Goodnight Sweep Well is the one that you could use, but if you're using Kafka Acheron and you don't have Kafka's light cone, then unless you have 2 copies of Goodnight Sweep Well, it's gonna be, that'd be rough to do. I'd put it on Acheron and then use a different light cone in Kafka, just because Acheron's damage is the most important. Kafka's really only secondary DPS for that team comp. But yeah, it's mainly Black Swan's doing the most damage with her dots for the because dots get 50% increased damage, and Black Swan's literally all her damage is in dots. Like, her skill doesn't really do that much damage. You see her ultimate does not do much damage overall compared to, like, if you look at Kafka's ultimate or obviously Acheron's ultimate, which Acheron's ultimate is her main damage, but it's all her dots. So this particular pure fiction is very good for Black Swan because of the increase in dot damage. And yeah, I said alternatives would be with Sampo. Luca's okay, but he's only single target, so that's why it's like not the best to use. But yeah, hopefully I gave you enough team comp options. If you want me to do like a guide about free to play teams, or if you want me to limit to like only 1 5-star per team, feel free to let me know if that'd be something you'd be interested in watching, or if you want me to yeah, or and also if I didn't give you enough team comp suggestions, feel free to comment. I always reply to every comment about anything. I mean, I reply to every comment. And if you're like struggling with your team comp, you're like, oh, I don't have this character, who should I use? I'll reply and I'll give you a suggestion into what to use. Again, 80k points you don't need. This just shows you that it's very easily obtainable with the right team comp, even if you don't have well-built characters. Like I said, my Guinafen is really not that built. Kafka's okay, but it could be a lot better. Same with Black Swan. And Acheron is well built, I will say. So that I can't obviously disprove. And I'm even using some unoptimal pieces, like Silver Wolf has Panaconi as her rope set for a non-quantum based team. So it's like, okay. Yeah. And yeah, hopefully this video gives you some ideas on who to run for your team comps. And if you don't have 3 Nihility characters, just do 2. Use, like, again, like Acheron, Kafka one side, and then Black Swan, Guinafen the other side, and then just do the dot transfer one that has like 100% chance to transfer to another character instead. That one's the second best option to use if you are actually running dot characters, because of the 50% increased damage in dots. That would be my other suggestion as well. If you don't have enough for 3, which is fair. If you didn't pull in all the Nihility characters like I did, then you probably don't have enough to do a 6, 3 and 3. If this video helped you, consider giving a like, and I hope to see you at a different video of mine.